Plaintiff James Payton is a 9-time convicted felon and former drug addict who's been in recovery for over 30 years. James says he grew up with the defendant's mother, but he's suing him and his fiancée for car damages and emotional distress. Defendant Julius Hinton and his fiancée O'Shawn Martin say Julius looked up to James as an uncle, but James always wants to be in the spotlight and makes everything about him. They're countersuing for the cost of a U-Haul and emotional distress.
Start with you.
I met Julius' mother years ago. We was classmates, church members also. Of course, Your Honor, I'm an ex-drug addict, 9-time convicted felon.
What type of convictions? All drug-related, or?
Well, yes, sir. From the influence of drug, you know, when you don't have the money to obtain it, to support the habit.
Yeah.
You know, I was taking things from stores at other people's expense. I'm not proud of it and everything like that, but I've overcome that, so now I
How
can
long
stand
have
up
you been in recovery?
Over 30 plus years.
You're in good recovery. You should be proud of that.
Thank you.
Good. What you doing with your life now?
Well, since that has happened, I have obtained a medical degree.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. I'm an entertainer, performer.
Okay.
And motivation to speak to help other people with addiction as well.
Good.
I've impacted a lot of lives since I've been in recovery, and I'm one of the guys that people know well. I'm from Mississippi, of course, Hattiesburg.
Okay.
That used to walk the street with bags and stuff to sell stuff. So those people are really following me now, including the radio station, which they did a live interview with me from Mississippi to here. So it's been a rough road, but there's no reward without a struggle, Your Honor.
There you go. And I'm glad to hear you using your experience as a inspiration. Tell me about your relationship with your nephew and his fiancée.
Okay, Julius, when his mom and I was growing up together in church, whatever, in school, over the years, after becoming acquainted with Julius, through church, what have you, I see potentials. He has very great potentials. If you give him a task, he would do it. He performed it very well. I have asked him to do certain things for me, work up funeral homes and stuff.
Let me allow him to give some background on you all's friendship.
Yes, sir.
Sir?
Well, Your Honor, when I first met the plaintiff when I was 17, we became very close friends, and I looked at him as an uncle. But James is always about James. He wants the spotlight. Everything always got to be about him. It's always about him. Like, for instance, we was in a production play called The Slave Masters, and he did the live interview with the radio station in Mississippi. Spoke on the latest play, never mentioned her name, not one time. Took all the credit, was taking all the credit.
Well, nobody coming to see that play because of her. They were coming because of him. Because he has a big personality, interesting personality, entertaining personality. I can tell that already. And you seem a little dry. And you definitely shouldn't have been on the radio. I'm just saying, don't hate on this man.
I'm not.
Was he the star?
No.
I
should have been.
I had the leading role. Yes, I was.
Huh?
I had the leading role. I had the leading role. Yes,
Did he have the leading role?
It was no leading role.
Yes.
Oh, it was him. Stop hating. Y'all hating on him. What else you want to tell me about your friendship with your uncle?
When we have problems or disagreements, he never want to hear nobody else's side of the story. He wants to get his point across and make his point. And when every time we have a problem, he wants to throw in a prophet that calls his phone. A person you never met, you never spoken to verbally. How can a person call you that you never met, never spoken with, and tell you something about things that's going on around you and with the people? And you ain't never met this man a day in your life.
Your Honor, might interrupt, please. Okay, this is a prophet that called my phone some years ago. And everything that prophet called and told me, like perhaps someone was setting up to kill me, okay? He said, my friend, he said, the enemy is after you. He said, someone is seeking your destruction. He said, but no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And so that night, Your Honor, after I come from the den, and someone has set my apartment on fire and my truck and tried to trap me in my house to burn up.
That same day?
Yes, sir, that same night. Okay, and not only that, other things that he have heard this prophet, and he have known the things that have unfolded right before his eyesight, her eyesight.
Did you know that story?
I knew about the carport and all that other part.
And his house burning up and all that? Did that happen?
It happened.
Now, here's the key question. How much you give him so far?
Nothing. I mean,
Has he asked you for anything?
Well, there been times they ask for donation. I might send like $5 donation, but you know, a lot of times because
that comes after every phone call?
Yes.
No, sir.
So he getting $5 a call.
No.
Yes. Oh, no. In the wrong business. What do I train for that? What do I train to be a prophet? How do they owe you for car damages and emotional distress?
Okay, Your Honor, I allowed Mr. Hinton as well as Miss O'Shawn to utilize my vehicle after hers had tore up for work. He taking her to work, she taking him to work, however. Okay, at one point they was driving, going to get something to eat. Perhaps a brick fell off of a tow truck that was towing an 18-wheeler, fell into my windshield on the passenger side. This is the brick. Okay, after he called me and brought the car to the house and I saw it, and I began to question him. I said, well, Julius, I said, why didn't you follow the truck and try and get the tag number? He said, I did. I said, why didn't you call 911? He said, I did. He said, and at one point, the truck stopped at the red light. He said, he jumps out of the vehicle, goes and approached the gentleman, whoever was driving the truck, said, sir, a brick fell off the truck into my car windshield. So the man said, I don't give a hoop, and took off. Okay, then I called the cops again the next day. The cop came out and he looked at this car. He said, sir, telling him, he said, I hear you, I understand you. He said, but this did not fall off no tow truck. And mind you, tow trucks are flatbeds or got a little pool on the back.
I mean, it had the hop out.
Exactly. And so if you got an 18-wheeler, Hurricane Katrina, somebody to come and blow a wind and lift it up and make it come over.
All right. And so what ultimately happened? With the allegation, with your discussion with him, what happened?
They agreed to pay me for the damages to the car.
And you let them use the car for how long? How long were they to use it?
But they've been using my car from February over to...
Not a man that only cares about himself.
Right.
Not a man that's only stuck on himself.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You let people use your things?
All of the time.
Then you let the person who says that you only care about yourself use it.
Exactly. Even after
Is that somebody who doesn't care about anybody other than himself? All right, what do you say?
Your Honor, the day of the incident, he swears up and down I threw that brick through his window. But need I remind you, I was in the car, my fiancée is in the car, plus my 1-year-old daughter. Why would I intentionally throw that brick through a window with my child in the car?
And what reason did he have? Were you all arguing and upset?
Yes, we had a problem.
All right. How long prior to the rock incident did you all have a problem?
We've been having a problem way before that incident.
What was the immediate last thing that had happened and when?
Well, he had a disagreement with me that he wanted to talk to me.
How long before the rock did you all have the disagreement?
A couple of days before the rock.
Okay, so did you agree to pay for it?
The day that it happened, me and my mother agreed to pay for it. We have been asking for estimates ever since.
Why'd you agree?
Because I was responsible. I was driving his car at that time.
And you say you all were asking for estimates and he never provided one?
Never provided.
Do you have one today?
I do, sir.
Did you provide one upon request?
No.
At that time, I didn't get one, but when I did go get it...
When did you get it? Let's
he got
see it. He got it when?
He got it 2 weeks ago.
And this happened...
This happened in March, sir.
All right, emotional distress.
Okay, Your Honor, with the emotional distress, well, mind you, he's uses drugs, and that's why I reached out to him. That's my purpose.
He's like you might be a lightweight weed head, but other than that, he don't look like a drug guy.
This is the reason why I
like him some weed. You like your weed, don't you?
I love my weed. I got it.
I know that. I can tell.
That's why I'm ready to get back there.
I can tell. Weed head when I see it, but he ain't all the way gone. He lightweight.
Okay.
How many? About 4 joints a day?
No.
How many?
I gotta have at least about 5, 6, young. Not joints, but blunts. Give me the cigar.
Oh yeah, you gone. Yeah. You a weed head. You smoking 5, 6 blunts. You a weed head.
Your Honor, he's so far gone that he's on the white girl now. Excuse me, you know what I mean, the powder.
Oh no, you blowing cocaine?
And this where all the problems come
on.
What?
Every now and then, only when I go out.
Go ahead.
And this is why I'm not
I'm not robbing, I'm not stealing, I'm not killing for it. I work for what I want.
Your Honor, because he made physical threats, and then he made physical threats to my neighbors.
What did you do when you received the threats?
I got the message right here.
What did you do?
I responded to him.
Did you go to the police?
No, sir. But
you didn't take this threat serious.
I tried to
How? If you didn't go to the police, a serious threat, you go to the police. Your counterclaim for emotional distress and a U-Haul.
Okay, the U-Haul is when I went back to Mississippi to pick up his furniture. He never offered not now a dime on that U-Haul. And the only reason why we purchased the U-Haul was for his furniture.
What was the agreement on him paying? How much was he to pay?
The agreement, we never made an agreement, Your Honor. But I feel as if you should at least offer. It's your
You're
furniture.
right. The moral thing to do would be that.
Offer.
The legal thing, unfortunately, I have to regard it as a gift. When there is no agreement and there's an exchange of property or money or valuables, then it's a gift unless there's an agreement to repay.
Yes.
Emotional distress, how does he owe that?
Well, Your Honor, me and my fiancée, we was out and about in Atlanta, and I received a disturbing phone call from my brother in Mississippi. And him and my mama had whatever they had going on, and my brother called me and was like, Rabbit is trying to jump on mama. And I'm like, what you mean? Well, mama phone pocket dialed me, and all I heard in the background was, Rabbit, you better not hit me, James, you better not hit me. How would that make you feel? How would you take that? When a man is trying to hit your mother who has a pacemaker, she's a kidney patient, she take over 15 different pills, and she's not allowed to be yelled at and stressed out or none of that. But you took it upon yourself to go to my mama's apartment twice after we left.
Why didn't she sue?
No.
Your Honor,
I'm just saying, sir, she's the victim. And sounds like if she sued, she might win. But you can't sue on her behalf. You're not the victim.
You're right.
Your
but that
Honor.
caused me emotional distress. You tell her if...
Yeah, well, sir, every time a loved one gets into an argument, yeah, you're upset. You can't go to the court and say, oh, my brother had an argument with his girlfriend and they threatened each other, Your Honor. Oh, would you give me some money? That's what you say. So, there's no emotional distress for you. However, I will grant the car damages. He said he would pay. His only defense was the estimate had not been given. Now that I have it, I'm going to grant you your judgment, $1,259. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
As of the day he's dead to me, and if he was to die now, I'd piss on his grave.
Well, yes, I would like to reiterate. All the thing I would like to say is I have nothing against him. I got much love for him, and I want the best for him. And like I said, I see his potentials. And with this type of attitude, you'll never get nowhere in life. I'm going to pursue my dreams. And I wish he can come along with me and still help me because we have a platform together. And if he care to throw it away, that's on him, but I'm going further.